Have you ever felt defeated by failure? That feeling when, despite all your efforts, things just didn't go as planned? Maybe you've asked yourself why everything fell apart, and you felt like there was no way forward. I've been there too, and believe me, it's more common than you think. But here's a truth that not many people understand. Failure is not the end. In fact, it's the beginning of something bigger, if you know how to handle it. And today, I want to show you exactly how to turn every mistake, every fall, into a valuable lesson that can completely change the course of your life. Failure hurts. There's no way around it. It's frustrating, demoralizing, and sometimes it feels impossible to get back up. We've all been there in one way or another, whether it's in your personal life, at work, on a major project, or even with small everyday challenges. But here's the thing. The difference between those who rise and those who give up lies in how each of us views failure. Believe it or not, some people can turn their failures into the driving force behind their greatest successes. And that transformation starts with something simple but powerful, a shift in mindset. Let's think about some examples of people who failed before achieving success. One of the most famous is Thomas Edison. He is remembered as the great inventor of the light bulb, but what many forget is that he failed thousands of times before succeeding. Imagine the frustration he must have felt after each failed attempt. However, Edison saw each of those failures as a lesson. He once said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This change in perspective is what led him to success. Instead of seeing failure as the end, he saw it as a stepping stone to his goal. Another powerful example is J.K. Rowling. Before becoming world famous for the Harry Potter series, she was rejected by multiple publishers. Imagine how many no's she received and how each one could have been a reason to give up. But she didn't stop. She kept going until she found a publisher willing to take a chance on her story. And the rest is history. These examples aren't exceptions. Great figures throughout history have faced failure at some point in their journeys, but they used those failures as fuel to achieve success. Now, the question is, how can you do the same? How can you turn your failures into valuable lessons? The first step is simple: accept failure as part of the process. Yes, it sounds easy to say, but accepting that mistakes are part of the journey is crucial to your growth. Many people try to run away from mistakes or hide them, afraid of how others will see them. But the truth is, making mistakes is part of being human, and it's through our mistakes that we learn the most important lessons. Once you accept failure, the next step is to reflect on what happened. When something goes wrong, instead of blaming yourself or ignoring the situation, it's important to stop and think, what went wrong here? What could I have done differently? This reflection is the first step to turning failure into a learning opportunity. Remember, you can't learn if you don't understand what went wrong. Take your time to reflect, identify the critical points, and acknowledge where things didn't go as planned. Now, let's move on to the practical part. How do you turn these reflections into concrete actions? The first tip is simple but very effective. Write it down. Write down everything you've learned from your failure. It could be in a journal, a notebook, or even on your phone, but it's important to document what you've learned from each mistake. This not only helps you organize your thoughts, but it also serves as a valuable reminder for the future. The next time you face a similar challenge, you can revisit those lessons and approach the situation differently. Another crucial point is to adjust your expectations. Many times, we fail because we set unrealistic expectations for what we can or should achieve. Failure then becomes almost inevitable. Learning how to adjust your expectations is a powerful skill. This doesn't mean giving up on your dreams or settling for less, but rather being realistic about what's possible at any given moment. To illustrate this, think of someone who tried to start a business and failed. Instead of seeing it as a complete failure, they should look at each stage and understand where things could have been done differently. Maybe the financial planning was poorly executed, or maybe the market wasn't thoroughly researched. By identifying these points, that person is ready to try again, but this time with more knowledge and, therefore, a better chance of success. Speaking of business, let's go back to the example of Steve Jobs. He is known as one of the greatest visionaries of the modern era. But not everything was easy for him. Jobs was fired from his own company, Apple, which he had founded. That was undoubtedly a major failure in his career. But he used it as an opportunity to reflect, learn, and grow. He started a new company, Next, which was eventually acquired by Apple, bringing him back to the company stronger and more prepared than ever. What we can learn from Steve Jobs is that failure, no matter how devastating, can be the beginning of something even greater. Here's another crucial tip. Surrounding yourself with supportive people is essential. When you face failure alone, it's easy to drown in self-criticism and discouragement. But when you have people around who believe in you and help you see the positive side, the process of turning failure into a learning opportunity becomes much easier. Remember, failure is a teacher. It teaches us what doesn't work, forces us to rethink our strategies, and prepares us to do better next time. This is true in every area of life, whether at work, in relationships, or personal projects. The key is adopting a growth mindset, where every failure is seen as an opportunity to learn. So, the next time you face a failure, take a deep breath and remember, this is just one more step on your journey. Each mistake comes with a powerful lesson that you can use to grow. Don't see failure as an insurmountable barrier, but rather as an opportunity for growth. If you enjoyed this video and want to continue on this path of personal transformation, don't forget to like and subscribe to the InspireSQ Transformum channel. Here, we believe that true success comes to those who have the courage to learn from their mistakes and keep moving forward. See you in the next video.